It turned one of Latin America's richest countries into one of its poorest. Low wages, high inflation, shortages, outages, 8 million people fleeing. If you think New York can somehow reinvent this wheel, you're in for a rude awakening. Zoran can't make your wishes come true. You're thinking of Zoltar. Democratic socialism is like a dating profile. Things look great until you meet up in the real world. For example, Bernie Sanders, his big thing was always bringing single-payer health care to our country of 340 million. But when liberal, tie-dyed Vermont tried to do it for a population of 626,000, it collapsed like that poor f*** in the Oval Office last week.
Audience claps as Bill Maher walks back on stage, adjusts his suit, and takes a slow breath like he's about to open a fresh bag of ridiculousness. All right, he says, let's talk a little more about our beloved Democratic Socialists, who believe the world can run on vibes, free stuff, and a strong belief in magical budgeting. The crowd laughs. Bill smirks. I talked to one the other day who said, Bill, the rich should pay for everything. I said, that sounds great, but what happens when the rich move to another country? He said, we'll just tax whoever's left. So basically their economic plan is a reverse lottery. If you're still here by the end, congrats, you're paying for everyone. Audience roars. And here's the funniest thing. Bill continues, leaning over the table. They say capitalism is evil because people can get too rich. Meanwhile, their dream system is one where no one gets rich, except the politicians running it. And they always say, not that kind of socialism. Yeah, because that kind only works in textbooks next to the chapter titled, Imagine if Unicorns Paid Rent. Crowd erupts. Bill walks across the stage. I saw a Democratic Socialist manifesto last week. Page 1 said, everyone deserves a living wage. Fair. Page 2 said, everyone deserves free health care. Also fair. Page 3 said, everyone deserves guaranteed housing. Ambitious, but okay. Page 4 said, and also free Netflix, free gym memberships, and maybe a basic income for gamers. And I'm like, guys, this isn't an economic policy. This is a wish list you write to Santa when you're 7. Laughter fills the studio. He raises a finger. And don't worry, they always have the same answer for who will pay for all of this. The government. That's like saying, I don't know who's cooking, but food will magically appear. Folks, the government is the people. If the people aren't paying, I hate to break it to you. Bill pauses dramatically. Nobody is. Big laugh. And
Democrats must recognize that Zoran Mamdani is the future of the party. Unfortunately, it's the Republican Party. Get it? And if you missed his victory speech in last week's mayoral election in New York, don't worry. You'll see it in every attack ad for the next 2 years. Now, Mamdani seems like a nice guy, and I congratulate him on an extraordinary political achievement. But before the whole left side of the country catches socialism fever, let's listen to the other big winner in last Tuesday's election, Virginia Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger, who, before the 24 election, said things like, if the party didn't shift to the center, we will get torn apart. And we need to never use the word socialist or socialism ever again. Well, she was right, but they didn't listen. Typical, am I right, lady?
big laugh. And then there's their favorite slogan. Workers should own the means of production. Great, fantastic. But have you ever been in a workplace group project? These people can't even decide who's bringing the donuts. You want them managing entire industries. Audience bursts out laughing. Bill continues, I asked one guy, if everyone owns everything, who's the boss? He said, no one. And I said, great. So when something goes wrong, who's responsible? And he said, we'll figure it out. That's not a plan, that's a group chat. Laughter grows. And the optimism, Bill exclaims. You gotta admire it. I mean, these are the same people who think they can fix the economy with a TikTok slideshow and a hashtag. Audience roars. Bill leans closer to the camera. And yes, capitalism can be unfair. Sometimes it's cruel. But socialism's idea of fairness is everyone being equally miserable. That's like saying, no one gets ice cream because one kid is lactose intolerant. Huge laugh. He adds, I'm just saying, if your dream system collapses the moment people stop paying taxes, maybe it's not strong enough to run the world's biggest economy. And if your entire plan depends on rich people voluntarily giving up their money, you might as well ask toddlers to voluntarily give up candy. Crowd claps. Bill clears his throat dramatically. Another activist told me, capitalism rewards greed. I said, sure, but socialism rewards laziness. Pick your poison. And he said, that's offensive. And I said, buddy, your ideology says I should work more so you can work less. You're lucky I'm only being offensive. Audience cracks up. He goes on. And people say, well, Europe does socialist stuff. Yes. They also pay half their income in taxes and still argue about whose turn it is to fix the trains. Also, Europe is small. You can cross some of those countries on a bicycle. Meanwhile, we've got states bigger than actual nations. You can't solve America with the SAM.
At least the party has a clear choice here, very clear. One wing is saying don't ever use the word socialist again, and one is saying,
I am a Democratic Socialist!
Clear, huh? So how do we decide who's right? Well, it turns out we don't really have to flip a coin. We have the evidence. In 2024, 13 Democrats won. In districts, Trump also won. All moderates. This isn't rocket science. All the left-leaning think tanks have done autopsies on 2024, and they all came up with the same message: move to the center. Even the New York Times, which did so much to promote woke politics, now says the partisans are wrong. Moving to the center is the way to win. And Democrats should recognize the party moved too far left on social issues after Obama left office.
Plan used for Belgium. Laughter. Bill adjusts his glasses. And I love when they say, we're fighting for equality. I'm all for equality. But equality doesn't mean everyone gets the same salary no matter what. If the guy who performs heart surgery gets the same paycheck as the guy who microwaves fries at a gas station, congratulations, you've just incentivized the heart surgeon to quit and microwave fries. Crowd roars. Bill moves his hands expressively. They say they want to eliminate billionaires. Sure, but billionaires fund tech, innovation, research. You eliminate billionaires, who's going to make the next iPhone?